Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a winning product. I'm literally going to be giving it all away in this video, step by step. Make sure you watch this video to the end because there are pieces that go along with other pieces that are going to help you get the full picture. I'm going to try to not make this video too long. If you found this channel, this is my secret sauce channel where I give it all away for free. So if you can, please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel as we are on our road to 1K. If you watch this video from the beginning to the end, by the end of the video, I am 1,000,000% sure that you're going to know how to make a winning product. Remember, don't skip any parts because some pieces do go together. So I think I done did enough talking. Let's get into the video. Alright, so how to create a winning product for your clothing brand. Alright, so the first step to creating a winning product for your clothing brand is going to be brand identity. Now, brand identity is something that I see a lot of brands struggle with in the beginning. It is also something that I struggle with in the beginning. But if you follow what I say, you're going to understand why brand identity helps and how to create your brand identity. So first off, you want to create products that resonate with your target audience, which, like I said, is your brand identity. You need to decide who you're marketing to. So in the beginning, your brand is a reflection of you. Pick an audience or a group of people that you feel like you resonate with, and maybe if you don't feel like you resonate with this particular audience the most, pick someone that you do feel like you resonate with. So me in the beginning, it was hard for me to pick a particular group of people to say, yeah, that's really me. But over time, I got to understand that I actually have different parts of myself. And I had to make a decision on what group and audience resonated with me most at the moment. So with that being said, with my clothing brand, One Dead Romance, you guys can go look. This is an example of my profile grid, and so obviously off the rip you can tell that these are more so grunge, darker aesthetic clothing. And so you want your target market or the people that you're marketing to be able to identify almost instantly with what you have going on in your product as soon as they get to your website, or your Instagram page. So this is super important, understanding your brand identity before you actually create a product. The main thing, again, I'm going to say it over and over, understand who you are marketing to. When they click on your Instagram page, when they click on your website, this should call out this exact type of customer. This should resonate with this exact type of customer. They should know this is for me. I should be here. When you go into creating a clothing brand, or when you go into creating a product and you do this originally from the beginning, I think this puts you about 60% ahead of everyone else, because everyone else just creates just to create, and they create just the things that they like. But when you create something that's a chain link, this product goes with the next product, and as you can see, like, this product goes with the next product, and this product goes with this product, and all these things look like as if they belong together, you win in the end. I'm going to just give you guys a couple of different niches that you can go with within a clothing brand niche. These are very, very popular, but this is just to give you a better idea on, what are the different types of niches that are popular and what niches you can pick from. It could literally be a dog lover niche. That's literally a niche as well. So just understanding who you're marketing to is going to be very important in the beginning. This is going to help you have consistency among products, and ultimately this is going to help the product that you put out identify and relate to a specific audience of people. So when you get to all these other steps, it becomes easy. So when people see your product, they instantly buy. All right, so next up is product research and trends. So I'm about to give y'all some sauce that I never gave out before. I gave out half of this sauce, but this second half of the sauce I never gave out. So make sure you're listening, taking notes, and you're paying attention. Now, these are the 3 different ways to spot trends that I think are the biggest ways, and these are the biggest, most helpful. Now, these are the 3 different ways to spot trends. These have been the most helpful for me: Instagram, TikTok, and lastly, Reddit. Now, I have given this away inside of my private group. I give away a lot of the tips and tricks that I use that I can't go too much into depth on my main channels, because we don't want these different methods to get oversaturated. So we do give away more in depth and more in detail advice within the private group. The only thing about the private group is we do only accept a certain amount of people per month. If this is something that you may be interested in, I'm going to link it down below. If not, there's nothing wrong with just taking the information away from this channel. So now, Instagram Reels. Now, as I'm scrolling on Instagram Reels, I always try to look for different trends and inspo in my niche specifically. So after you identify your niche, you need to see kind of like what's trending and what's going on. All right, so how to spot trends. So Instagram is one of the biggest ways that I use to spot trends. And this is really just by seeing, you know, what are people wearing right now, what are the brands promoting, what are they putting out, what's getting the most amount of likes. So you have to use these free different methods to your advantage. And I do the same thing on TikTok, and I work and operate a little bit different on Reddit, which I'll get into in a second. But anytime I see like a video of something that I like, one, or something that I feel like is a trend, two, that I keep seeing over and over, or three, something that I just feel like has a lot of potential, maybe even for the next upcoming season, I literally just take a screenshot or I download the video and then I add it to a photo album, which we're going to talk about down here. Another thing is on Instagram, you can just create a saved album. And sometimes what I do as well, I just create like a whole Instagram page that is just for, you know, inspo for my clothing brand. Maybe it's not just clothes, maybe it's content and so forth. So I really use, you know, Instagram and TikTok to the max, because these are the apps that my target audience are on every day. And these are the apps that people are on every day. They have the most data. These apps have the most data. So it would literally be stupid if I don't use these apps to my advantage. And like I said, I do the same thing with TikTok. I would just create a brand new page. I follow a lot of people that are into fashion. I follow different clothing brands, and I just scroll. And what I'm doing is, when I'm following these different pages, I'm training my algorithm to know that, hey, I'm looking for people in this specific niche. I'm looking for brands in this specific niche. So I know instantly when I start seeing something over and over and over again, this is a new trend in the market. And a lot of the times, like I said before, you can catch a trend at the end of that season and it may come back the next season. So for instance, with my clothing brand, one of my biggest products were my beanies. I caught that trend at the end of the winter, before the winter that it blew up, and I made over $250,000 off of those beanies. So that's super, super important to, you know, understand how to spot trends. If you learn how to spot trends, you will win. The next method, like I said, is Reddit. Now Reddit, you have to use, and you have to really search and read through like different communities, and sometimes they'll say exactly like what they think is trending or what will be trending for the next upcoming season. And sometimes you just have to look and see what people are talking about in these different fashion threads. So that's super, super important as well. All of these three different apps are just people interacting on different platforms. It's just different apps. So Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, these are just a matter of people interacting, talking about how they feel, showing what they like, expressing their thoughts, expressing their feelings. And it's your job as a brand owner to use these things to your advantage. If you understand how to use these three different platforms, this definitely will take you to the next level. Next up, another crazy method that a lot of people do not use is looking at a lot of the bigger brands in the fashion space. So a brand like a Balenciaga, a brand like Louis V, a brand like Supreme, these big brands that are already established spend millions of dollars on market research to see what will be trending the next year, what will be trending the next 2 years, what will be trending the next 3 years, what will be trending the next 5 years down the line. So if you look up and you look into what they're producing and what they're putting out in the upcoming seasons, because a lot of these, you know, big brands, they have different lookbooks and they have different things, and if you utilize these things the right way, you can stay ahead of the curve by just planning your drops based off of the things that they are putting out as well. So like I said, a lot of these big, you know, brands that have millions of dollars to do so put a lot of money into market research, and you can just capitalize and use that to your advantage as well. All right, so the next thing up is product inspo. Now I put an arrow down here because these things kind of go together as well, but sometimes you can just use pictures or products for inspo without it being directly correlated with a trend. So I love to use Pinterest for this because you can literally tune your home feed based off the things that you click on for Pinterest. So if you didn't know, on Pinterest, if you go to the settings tab within Pinterest, you can tune your home feed. So all of the things that you've clicked on, you can make it look like you've never clicked on it before, so you can remove that from your home feed, and the things that you've clicked on, they can stay. So this time when you refresh Pinterest, these are just things that are built off of the past and previous things that you've clicked on before. And so that's why I think Pinterest is a very powerful app. I like to download those images and I like to put those inside of a photo album, typically a share album, because I have two different phones, but you can just create an album within your iPhone and just store it there. I also store these different things there as well that I find in Reddit, TikTok, and Instagram, and I store those in the photo album. The last thing that you can do that kind of includes the photo album along with these other big brands is when I'm out shopping, or sometimes you may just be walking through the mall, but bro, take pictures of the things that you see. I remember one time, I forgot the name of the store exactly, but I was inside of Lenox Mall. As I was shopping with two of the bros, I saw this was a regular store too. This wasn't like a high-end fashion store, but I saw a jacket that had a certain type of pocket on it. So instantly I just took my phone and I took a picture of it and I added it to my album. So having all of these things ready and together in one photo album when you're ready to design, whether you design or whether you have a designer that designs for you, it helps a lot when it comes down to actually creating a product when you're in the actual process. So I would definitely utilize all these different tools together. I even see, you know, some different things within designer stores. Sometimes I go inside of Neiman Marcus and these bigger stores just to see like what do they have and what they're putting out, and I literally go in there to get inspo. So there's nothing wrong with that. The last thing I want to talk about is something called the 70-30 rule. Ideally, I would say use it in the beginning or use it when you want to gain a lot of traction. And this is literally 30% of what you make should be what you like, and 70% of what you create should be trends and inspo. And the reason for this is you can gain a lot of traction by using 70% of what you're creating being trends and inspo, but you also want to be somewhat original. So I would say 30% of whatever you're creating should be you. And you can notice and see that, you know, even Virgil kind of practiced this as well. I think he called it the 3% rule. So only change 3% of a product that you like and that is working. I have my own opinion about, you know, only changing 3%. I think Virgil changed a little bit more than 3%, but I feel like a lot of, you know, designers and people out there kind of take that 3% rule to the max, and sometimes it just looks like they're copying. But I think 30-70 split is more so ideal. 70% comes from trends that you see in the market and inspo, and the 30% comes from the things that you truly like, and, you know, just comes from inwards, and this just makes your work more and more original. And as you grow as a brand owner, you're going to be able to have a bigger split from what you like, because people will just buy because it is the brand. So eventually, you know, people just buy because my brand is called Dead Romance and they've been buying from the brand before. So possibly I could just release a blank t-shirt that I like, and there's not too many trends and inspo that will come behind that. People will just buy because of the name, or they'll just buy because, you know, I wanted to put that out there. So that is ultimately the goal when creating a clothing brand. Based off this video, I gave you everything that I would use to really hit that next level as far as designing winning products. If you have a winning product and you understand how to market, you literally can't lose. You have to be consistent and use all of these things to your advantage when creating a new product. If you got to this part of the video, so I hope this video helped. If you like this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.